Hey, chat. I made it. I made it. What's up? I just woke up. You were watching VODs? Oh. Fuck is this meeting supposed to? It's not open yet. Not open yet. Why does it smell like up dog in here? I'm gonna put a fucking dog up you. Alright, what's up? I didn't like that. Sorry. I should give trigger warnings before I'm about to tell a joke. And make sure the chat consents to the joke I'm about to tell before it has to penetrate their ears. Before I penetrate you guys with my filth, I should make sure that you've consented. I apologize. Am I hungover? Not really hungover. More like just like that, like drinking grog. No, what Kid Rock video? I'll look it up right now. On Twitter? I love how we all still just call it Twitter and Tuesday saved? I'm just here for the meeting, dog, then I'm dipping. Grog is a drink consisting of rum and water. Is that really all it is? It's just watered down rum? This video?
You fuck with Trump, you fuck with me.
Oh no!
You fuck with Trump, you fuck with me.
Oh god, no! Oh shit, Kid Rock's pissed! Oh my god! Does he know the guy's dead? Kid Rock is like, alright, let's go get him. Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? He's already dead? 10-hour meeting into forced court case into traffic stop. Yo, what the hell? That's the wrong character. That's crazy. Fuck with Penta.
So long.
That's okay. This isn't a real stream.
That's so long.
I like community meeting content. I feel like community meetings in the RP world, it's like the equivalent of reaction content. Just sit here and you're like, oh, okay.
That's so long.
Either wholesome as fuck or
That's
toxic.
so
No, I just
long.
mean is like, as far as like the streamer goes, you just sit here and just zone out. Crack a joke every once in a while.
That's so long.
Big drama on Purple RP. No, I don't think so. There hasn't been any giga drama, so that's nice.
That's so long.
Good for just waking up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's so long.
Man, I was reading that Ignite thread though this morning. That shit really had me bummed out. They really had
That's
something with
so
that, man.
long.
Man, Ignite really, damn, there was some good RP, dude. That shit really was about to be it.
That's so long.
All it takes is a few shitty admins, man. They did that sucked. Fumbled so bad. That was a
That's
fucking
so
huge fumble.
long.
Now the server's being sold for 6K. Dude, he could have probably been pulling down that like easily a month plus some, I bet.
That's so long.
Bobby just straight saying, yeah, once Penta left, I was pretty done. I mean, Well, yeah, I
so
mean, at that
long.
point, you know, at that point, it was pretty fucked, right?
That's so long.
The fuck else is there to do?
That's so long.
Hey guys, love
That's
you.
so long.
I'm going to.
That's so long.
I'm going to RDM Prior. What the? What the fuck?
That's
Is that
so
RDM? I think that
long.
was initiation. That's not RDM then. That was initiation.
That's so long.
Good initiation, Aaron. On a Tuesday for free? This is just community. This is just like behind the scenes footage, I'd say. But I thought this would be a good thing to stream because if I make references to this tomorrow, I want people to know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's snow. Smaller.
That's so long.
$210 in one Discord. 205 in the meeting so far. That's what's up, man. I wonder what they're gonna say. Pivotal moment here for Purple RP, guys. We'll see how it plays out. I feel like that there's been a couple. Not. I feel like there has been some conflicting RP styles, in the server. So we'll see. We'll see. Fuck Penta. This could be a fuck Penta meeting. At least that's happening in a meeting and not in
Hello,
RP.
everyone.
There's snow.
We're gonna wait another 1 or 2 minutes
All
for
right.
everyone to trickle in, and then we'll get going.
Tricklers. Will you be able to interrupt DMSRP after this? God damn, I hope so. God, I hope so. So remember, PDM is off limits. Is Gil just an admin? I don't know. I didn't know Gil had any sort of admin powers. I don't like his rulings in RP, but you know, OOC, I don't know anything about the guy. could be an awesome guy. I have no idea. Gil staff. Well, there you go. His rulings have been great. Okay. You know what? You're right.
That's so
You know what? You're right.
long.
Am I hungover? Nah.
That's so
Just a little
long.
groggy.
All right, I think that's enough time.
Oh, he was good to soups.
Welcome to our first community meeting since launch. Awesome to see this many people at such short notice. We wanted to do this meeting for a while now, but schedules were clashing. We had to just find a time, and this one was the one that worked the soonest.
Woo!
So thank you for coming. Thank you for making time. The format this meeting is going to work in is that we'll go through several points. After each point, we will allow a 10-minute Q&A section.
Fuck. No.
We will start off with talking about.
Shit.
Let me get the list real quick again.
Oh fuck. Why
You carry on. He will talk about moderation. There's been a bunch of misunderstandings about how we moderate the community, how our ticket system works, and specifically people thinking we don't take action on certain things. We want to explain to you thoroughly how we do moderation.
Why isn't Penta banned?
Talk about our moderation team. as well as the efforts we've been taking to cultivate the community
That's
and make
so
sure that the RP
long.
on the server stays good.
You're doing great, Snow.
For that, I would like to introduce you, Carry On. He's one of our administrators.
All right. It
He
smells
handles
like
a lot of the tickets. If you've done a ticket,
I'm
there's a high
outta here.
chance you ran into your Carry On and talk to him. He does a lot of other things on the server too. But for this right now, he's going to talk about how we do moderation and how our tickets work. You carry on.
We are aware of the
Well,
Penta
hello,
problem.
everybody. Some of you may have encountered me on Mr. Gill.
That is not what I was
who
expecting.
doesn't sound like me.
Nah,
You're just gonna have to get used to
That's
it.
not what I was
Um,
expecting.
so let's talk about how we moderate. First and foremost, the most
Not the
important
voice I was
tool that we
expecting.
have is hitting /report in game. If
He's
you see
British.
something
That actually
doesn't
makes a
feel
ton of
right
sense now.
or that you're not sure about, hit that and it grabs.
Now
a
that I know
bunch of
he's
stuff
British,
for
that
you,
makes a lot of sense about the gun
sends it
rulings
to
and
us
shit.
in the logs. Makes it super easy for us to track down. So that's
so long.
first thing first. Do it as quickly as you can. The second thing is, after you've done that, head into Create Ticket, the channel in Discord, and use one of the handy dandy options there to make a ticket for us. Give us as much.
We have
information as
created
we can.
a new
If you've got
button
clips,
specifically
that's
for
fantastic.
reporting Penta.
And we'll just roll with it. So what happens after that is one of the members of the team grabs the ticket and we'll start to investigate. So we will often then ask you
Penta
clarifying
incident.
questions. We will try to understand the timeline of what you're talking to us about, and we'll watch
Amazon.
any clips or recordings that you've included. And then often we'll then dive into our logs, which are expansive, to figure out exactly what happened. So, for instance, if you've ever reported someone who
Just got
moved
brought
your
a sandwich.
prop, or wanted to know who was rooting inside your military crate, or dude, where's my car? The logs tell us the answer to all of those things. And
Unasked
that's
for.
straightforward. And what we'll often then do is create a new ticket to speak to the other parties who are involved. This is great for one reason. It allows us to keep the reporters anonymous so that you're not then sort of fueling things at that point. There's a cost to that, though. It means that because we are pulling you into a ticket,
This guy
you
doesn't
aren't the
sound like
creator
Gil
of
at
it,
all.
so you don't get a transcript to the end, which is one of the problems with the system that we've got.
He's pretty good at voices, huh?
If you ever need a transcript, you can always ask us for it and we'll send one.
That's pretty cool.
So what do we do when we find something that's broken the rules? Our approach is to try and do coaching rather than punishment as our first instinct. There are occasions when we don't. Someone violates our zero tolerance
You're supposed
policy.
to call him a fat fuck after
reason,
you
folks.
shoot him. Not remain silent, guys.
But for the most part, we want to just say, hey, here's how you can get better. Here's how you can give better role play to everybody else. We resort to permanent bans really rarely. Even our permanent bans tend not to be permanent. You can appeal them after a certain number of days.
Oh, fuck.
Typically 30, but sometimes longer, depending on what the reason for it is. Tickets are also all reviewed by multiple staff members when we are taking sort of action against you, whether it's a suspension or a ban. So it's not just one person being a tyrant. Selvik, what are you telling me? And we use a range of temporary suspensions alongside warnings and coaching.
GP, thanks for the 5 gifted.
The whole point is that we want this to be a great, fun place to play. We don't really want to be disciplining people for stuff. Like, that isn't the vibe that we're looking for. But sometimes you have to, because people need to behave themselves.
It's true.
We also tend not to handle tickets right in the aftermath of a situation. When you've still got adrenaline coursing through your veins because you've been involved in a 10v10 shootout at the top of Chiliad, you're not going to be in the mood to listen to someone telling you, hey,
cool as shit.
That was pretty cringe. So we give it a while. We let it settle. And we also don't issue bans if you're streaming. We wait until you finish streaming to handle it, because there's nothing worse than getting your stream or whatever you're doing shut down to deal with something that we can just talk about. And
that happened to me once. Just never on stream.
The vast
right,
majority
guys.
of people we speak to
improv
are
subathon.
thoughtful, take
Improv
accountability
RDM
for their
subathon.
actions, and ask great questions to understand the rules better, which has been really, really pleasant. More of that, please. Those of you who are claiming that you can keep streaming for 24/7, good luck, Godspeed. We've experienced on different places where we've role played what it's like when these things are not true. So we will we don't want it to be true here. It has to be fair.
That's what's up.
Some people say like, hey, why did I get removed from a ticket? Why did I get ghosted from it? Sometimes we'll remove you from a ticket so that we can use the thread itself for evidence collection and for the staff to discuss stuff.
Oh, snow dipped.
We try not to do that as much as possible because, like I said,
he's
it means
back.
you won't get the transcript at the end. But we're doing a lot of work with not many people, so sometimes we take shortcuts. Sorry about that. If it happens, let us know.
I'll join the admin team. Let me in
To
there.
give you an indication on the scale, since launch, we are currently up to 2,378
long.
tickets.
All
since
Penta
launch.
report.
We're handling that between the owners and a few members of staff. It is a lot. A lot. Some tickets involve 20 plus people and
It's a
7
lot.
VODs.
You could even say
that
it's
are
fat.
2 hours long.
It's a
And
fat
sometimes
amount of
we spend
tickets.
6 hours on
Really?
a single ticket combing through the logs to figure out exactly what happened. We are putting people into the team to help us out with that. But it will take some time. So please just be patient with us. If
Yeah,
it
how
takes
can
us a
there
little
be a
while to get to your
20-person
ticket,
report?
we are looking at them. We don't forget them.
That sounds
Let us
insane.
know. And finally, we had a really interesting feedback thread in the suggestions where there was a bunch of opinions, some based on impartial, incomplete data. But there's a really good suggestion there, which was, hey, it'd be cool if you added a public anonymous suspension log so that people can see what people are being suspended and banned for.
I like that.
So they know what not to do.
Let's go drama.
We love that idea, so we're going to put that in place. So you can look forward to seeing that happening soonish, so that it's a little less ambiguous.
The
We're
drama
also taking-
feed.
Yeah.
Detailed. It'll be anonymous in a sense.
Let's
It won't
fucking
be
go.
every single ban or report. It'll just be ones we feel are relevant to the community.
Bingo.
So you guys know
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
taking action.
Huge
Yeah,
patch
there's
for
been
Reddit.
instances
stuff.
where, sorry, you Karen. There's been instances where we speak to people.
This is how we get purple
about
RP on the
situations and they're
subreddit,
extremely
guys.
frustrated because they.
This
got
is how
removed
we
from
get
the
purple
ticket,
RP on the
because
subreddit.
we told
This
them
is
we're
how we do it.
investigating and then they thought no action
You
was
won't have
taken, and in
names.
fact,
The
people
detectives
got
can figure it
perma
out.
banned. So we want to make sure that we're sending the right messages to everyone involved and the whole community that certain things are not okay and that we are moderating the community for it, because it is understandably frustrating if you think no action was taken and then in reality, action was taken.
Fuck yeah, the drama feed. Let's go.
Sorry, if you go ahead and continue with your.
You good? That's basically the end of it from moderation. Like, it's a bunch of work. You've mostly been a delight to speak with the people who've been in the tickets. Please keep that
You've
going
mostly
because it's a lot of work.
Thank you. Carry on. Yeah, it's been a lot of work. We've been slowly growing our moderation admin team too to improve the speeds at which tickets can get reviewed. So we will improve on those times in the future, and hopefully with the
I just did the craziest thing. I don't know if people
everyone will be on the
noticed,
same
but
page
I
again
ate
that
my
we do
soup,
moderate
and
the
then now I'm
community
eating the
and
crackers
that we do
separate.
take action.
That's pretty psychotic.
And one more little thing,
That's
Karen
actually a
touched on it
crazy
a little
thing to
bit.
do.
Some people get irritated that their friends get banned over what seems minor infractions. That usually happens if, even after we took a while and put a little bit of distance between the situation and the ticket, they must have been very combative in the ticket. Then they must have said, okay, I don't agree, or they must have, or way worse, to be honest. I'm not gonna go into details, but if you give us the impression in the ticket that you don't want to learn from the situation and that you are not gonna be a good member of the community going forward, then we will just take our discretion and remove you.
You got to be an obedient little
That's
And
not on
kitten.
we've all
the.
played.
Oh,
We've all played on servers where it feels like some people
That's
skirt the lines
so
on the rules
long.
and repeatedly sort of ruin roleplay for other players. And it may take they get a warning here,
I do
a
that.
day there, 2 days
Me.
here, another coach
That's me.
here. I've played on servers like that. It hasn't felt great, so we try not to remove people permanently too often, but we do use discretion and sometimes remove people.
yeah. Okay, that's it on
Real life
moderation. I hope
tragedy
that
Penta.
has brought in some clarity as to how our tickets
He
work
can't
and
stop.
why you get removed from tickets, and
He can't stop bringing him up.
why it takes so long sometimes to completely finish off with a ticket. Our next topic will be touched on by Katie. I've spoken about
Alright.
it a bunch
Touched
of
by
times. I've
Katie,
spoken
let's
about it in
go.
the police meeting. On this server, we want to have a melting pot of RP styles. We
That's so
like
long.
and enjoy both the slow burn, slow RP, and we enjoy the fast burn, maybe more funny RP.
Connell's pep
Katie's
Wing
gonna
in the
speak about
chat.
that right now because we really want to come together as a community and respect each other's and each other's roleplay.
All right.
So, regarding that, essentially, what we are striving for is a bit
Is
of a mixing
prior
pot,
slow
pot
RP?
where ideally players read the room and sort of understand that, okay, this person's doing lighthearted role play, this person's doing serious RP, and to role play appropriately with that person, right?
Okay.
Relative to the pacing that they're trying to bring to the table.
Uh-huh.
So, one of the worst experiences you can have is like a slow burn storyteller is
That's
someone
so
interjecting
long.
themselves repeatedly into a story without consideration for the pacing of it, right? Brief moments of whimsy or action can provide some beautiful contrast, but too much of it muddies the tale you're trying to tell, right? Likewise, if a faster paced storyteller,
Like
nothing
holding up
harshes the
EMS.
vibe more than letting someone who isn't matching your speed, like a cop or something, right? Who isn't giving you much in the way of role play beyond sending you to jail, right? Or shutting down
That's
arguments.
so long.
We tell better stories together when we invite others to step outside their comfort levels, but respect how they play. The key is to read the room and be considerate of them.
Who the fuck wrote this script? Katie?
One moment.
Oh. ChatGPT's loading.
Yeah, I
So-
think. Oh yeah, go ahead.
We want Purple to be a place where you can find a beautiful sort of mix of different stories and speeds, where everyone works together to tell stories together, right? To
I'm kidding. They're all doing a great job.
what's the word? I don't want to say, I don't want to use W and L, but I think
Use
you
it.
guys understand what I'm saying.
Use W and L.
Sometimes people have a hard time reading.
That's the only way
if
I'll
the other
understand.
person's a slapstick comedy character or not. So we just need to work extra hard at that, at identifying what the other person's doing and respecting them in that regard, right?
Sometimes
and that doesn't mean we
WRP
shouldn't be
can
allowed
turn
to,
into an L
push each other's
moment.
comfort levels in terms of how silly they want to go or how serious. Just be mindful, if you just did it to them, maybe don't keep going back, and vice versa. And
Why am I being pepped?
we ask that from everyone. Like
Why am I being...
we don't want the fast burners to get burned out because they keep running into
What did I
people that
do?
take it way too serious. You get to choose how you role play the like your injuries, for example. If you just got shot at by maybe in a bit by someone, right? You don't have to injure out that you got 50 bullet fragments in your liver or something like that. You can just say you got grazed by the bullet and
Another
shrug it
prior
off.
mass shooting
Like,
bit.
you have that agency on our server to meta P like you want to. And so if you think they are not matching your speed and you're not gonna get the role play you want by getting
We
super
got
injured
blown
from
up
the
by a
situation,
suicide bomber in the
then
hospital.
we encourage you
That's a good
to
question.
take your agency in your hand and not get too injured from that situation. And that counts the other way around too for the fast burners. Maybe don't keep gunning down the same person over and over and over again. And yeah, that's we're just asking for. We're trying to make.
I don't do that. Why are people pepping?
Like
I don't do that.
And we want to respect
It's not
each
gonna
other.
I've been
easy.
getting gunned
It
down.
requires everyone to put something into this.
When did
to
I
try and
do
make it
that?
happen. But we're working
That's
towards
so
it, and we're gonna keep
long.
working towards it. Are there any questions related to this? Were we having questions, Snow? Were we putting these?
Oh yeah, we
In
didn't
chat
even.
right here, or
We
we're
forgot to
doing
do
it
the questioning
We
about
need to
the.
do- Yeah,
Yeah, that was my
but-
bad. I'm sorry, guys. First community meeting.
okay. We're
Oops.
that's okay.
Let's do questions about this melting pot
I think
one,
that
and then
someone that
Yeah.
is doing I
can
think
do
you can
questions
do
about
like
More of
every
a
slow.
server direction, right?
I've never understood
want
why
people
slow burn
interacting on the
and
server with each other.
quick burn RP has
'Cause,
been
I
seen
mean,
as
there are definitely
two
different styles that
different
clash,
things. I
and we
think
find that,
that someone who's good
most
at
of
RP can
our
do
worst
both.
tickets are when
You can
those
have
two
an
different styles
ongoing
are,
overall
meeting each other.
story while doing
Someone expects
bits
something
every
different
once in
from
a
the role
while.
play than the other person provides them.
You can
right?
do that. It's not like a separate thing, you know?
But if there's anything we can clarify on from where we at least stand related to that, we would love to answer those questions.
Side quests, yeah.
Okay, can you guys hold the chatter for questions in this chat real quick, the community chat?
If there are any. If they're not, then we'll continue on the points.
I mean, yeah.
You wanna invite
Nix,
people to speak
if you
now
could,
and then have them ask
That's
it, or do you want
so
them to type it?
long.
I have a
So when these people
question.
play
Yeah,
together,
just
you can tell
just
some
type
people
it.
intentionally avoiding
Fuck.
certain slapstick characters.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, if you know someone is doing a role play somewhere that you don't want to be involved with, you obviously have the option not to go in and be involved in that, right?
What?
Sometimes things happen, and you just meet these people naturally, and they role play with you. And in those situations, you
I
just,
think she might want to
you do
clarify
your
on that
best
one.
to role play out the situation and
Oh.
continue on, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's no invitation to, let's say you run into a slapstick character and they RP with you. You can't just walk away from that either.
Yeah, you don't
Okay,
get
okay.
You
knocked
need
out
to
for
you need
it.
to
there,
RP
good.
it out, but like I said,
Huge
you have the
clarification.
agency to choose how
Huge
hard the
clarification.
consequences
Okay,
are from this
huge.
interaction.
Right.
If you get shot as a result, then you don't have to RP out that you have to be in a wheelchair for 6 weeks or something like that. You know, you have that agency just as much as they do, and you can't just walk away because they are trying to they're trying to tell a story too. Maybe it's a bit of a shorter story, or maybe there is an overarching story and they just like to mix in bits here and there. You know, they deserve it just as much as you do to make a story.
What
Everybody
if I don't
everybody's
feel
roleplay
like RPing
is worth
today?
equal. Here's a question. Q, you say the worst. Let's do the admin tickets later. Oh no, this one here. Okay, that's fine. You say the worst tickets are where these personalities clash. Do you
Alright.
all consider these personality clashes as a rule break, or just as people being inconsiderate towards each other?
Oftentimes, the personality clash leads to rule breaks, right? Often
Go
over
fishing.
misunderstanding or
That's funny.
misexpectation over the situation. One person might expect a certain role play from a certain action, but they get something, more violent in return than they might expect. Maybe they shoot them right away or whatever. On the first interaction, that would be a good example, I think.
Okay. Can you
If that
elaborate
helps
on the be
context.
considerate clause to there being no limits on RP crime?
Let's see. So
I think that's pretty
I think this kind
self-explanatory.
of relates to
Don't
the
just like
topic. There was a thread about robbing
fucking
in Polito.
loot
And happy
box
about
people.
robbing in Polito.
Shit,
Can I get Amazon's thoughts on
yeah.
people robbing in Polito? There was some people saying it was low quality.
Be
role
good
playing
at
robbing
RP.
Polito, as cops might not be nearby. Is it something result in a warning if done too much? No, I mean it depends on the robbery, right? It depends on the context of the robbery. There's a way to do good robberies and there's a way to do bad robberies. You know what I mean?
She's right.
I mean, I guess if we're
she's
gonna
right.
get into the nitty gritty of what is a good robbery and what is a bad robbery, I think to summarize it would just be to provide counterplay to the other player so that they can do follow up role play. If you black out in all black with a motorcycle helmet and get a sports bike,
It really
you're
is
not
that
exactly,
simple.
pushing anything new here, right? It's there's not a lot of follow up for that player.
Yeah.
Give you an example.
Okay.
And the cops, as for the cops not being there, I mean, that's go complain to them in character and tell them that they don't patrol Polito enough. It's lawless, right?
Holy shit, she's right.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the be considerate clause to there being no limit on RP crime?
Yeah, I can take this one. I
She's
think a
right.
little bit because we see it a bunch of times. Where, so for instance, let's say you've got two gangs who are sort of in full-on beef and it's been building up and you've got a really nice big juicy storyline. We don't want you to feel that you have to leave people out of that story for the sake of an artificial limit. We want you to be able to role play with the people who are there to role play and to do that. But be considerate with the other side and that you aren't just rolling them with numbers, right? Like it's be thoughtful about the stories you're trying to tell and basically don't just keep going back to the well, like to bully people for the sake of it. It's what is the story you're trying to tell? Can you achieve it in more interesting and creative ways than you know,
Gil's
just
rulings have
straight up
pissed me off,
gunfights.
but he's right
Gunfights are
about
cool.
that.
We all love them.
That's a good
right?
answer.
They're great, but they're not the only tool in your arsenal to tell these stories. And so we've just left you a bunch of creative freedom there, but be thoughtful. Recognize there are players on the other end. Try to tell great stories.
Don't
with them,
steamroll people.
rather than necessarily just doing that. We want flexibility rather than hard rules on that, because then people just do counting, or it's like who gets to tag in and out for stuff, and it just gets gross really quickly.
So,
Question. So in a situation where someone is a slow burner and get into conflict with
I thought
someone
there
that, for
were
instance,
group
always
limits.
takes grazes, what is the best way to end it if that energy does not match yours? Obviously, try to reach out OSC to the other party first, but if that does not help, is it an option to reach out to Staff Plus and get directions and advice for it? So
Ending conflict?
I don't think you should try to end conflict OOC. I mean, you're playing a character, they're playing a character. They gotta be a situation or a way to solve that conflict
I
in
thought
character.
it was 4.
You know, if not, and the conflict stems because of from OOC reasons, then you can make a ticket and you can report them because they're, you know, maybe they hate you OOC and they just want to gun you down all the time. But otherwise, it's a roleplay, so you should be able to solve it in character. If all fails, of course, you can always make a ticket and get advice from staff. That's we have questions for admins as a ticket for a reason. So if you need help on a situation in that regard, you think moderation action is necessary or something like that, it doesn't hurt to open a ticket, and we will hear you out. And you know,
No, stop spamming
best
block
case,
posts.
we can just give you like
They're
some
saying
tips
they
for
don't want
roleplay.
that.
Worst case, they actually hate you OOC, and this isn't roleplay anymore. Then we'll help you in other ways.
Yeah, everything should always be able to be handled in character like that. In terms of like drama and beef, you should always be able to.
I
it should always
understand
just
what
be
they're
roleplay,
saying,
right?
where they
You know?
kind of
It
want
should always just be
the
roleplay.
group limit to be flexible, but like,
I'm gonna keep scrolling here. We got a little bit
I
of
don't know,
commentary,
dog. That
so
shit's
I'm just gonna
tough,
go to the next
man.
question.
That I feel like that's
Some
one of
my
those things
friends
where
and I were enjoying
if you
the
don't
crime
set like
producing
hard numbers,
radios,
things get kind of
ATMs, selling
messy.
radios, ATMs
Long.
in stores. The new grinder announcement, we were a little bit scared. A bit more than a few days now. Could we just get some more insight into what we consider bannable grind in terms of petty crime events? Yeah, I mean, a lot of you really don't need to worry about this. It's only if you find yourself grinding a legitimate
I'm
15
scared to
hours a
grind.
day,
31 people
and
liked this.
actually accounting for like 40 to 35% of the total volume of sales related to car radios. Like if you woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning and you were like, all right, I pump out 50 car radios an hour. Here we go. I'm about to crack out a 12-hour shift, and that's my life for the next 3 weeks. And then, like, we look at the backlog and we see, like, you've sold millions of car radios. You've bought 7 businesses. You own a few Lamborghinis. You've been spending money everywhere, which, I mean, yeah, you might get a ban for that, right? Because we didn't design all these features in mind for you to do that. It wasn't in the thought
The
process that
pizza
you
this
would dedicate
incident.
your life solely to taking car radios out of the cars, right? That just wasn't in the plan. So like it doesn't fit in the model. We want people here to role play. You got to be here to role play first and foremost. You can, like you play 16 hours a day, you can grind a lot of car radios. If that's what you do to make your money, hey, by all means. As long as you're doing other stuff. And when you see someone, you role play with them, right? And you're not doing it on a sports bike only, right? All blacked out. I mean, do it with a little role play. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Majority, 99% of the server does not need to worry about being banned for overgrinding.
yeah, as a developer, I can say many of these mechanics are designed around being fun
Rob people
and
wearing
providing
rainbows.
enough money so you can
What
do your
the
immediate
fuck?
roleplay. We don't have. I think our server isn't very grindy in regards to enabling roleplay. We have cheap cars. You can rent a car. You can
What the
buy cheap
hell?
ammo and weapons. Like a lot of tools are
Huh?
immediately available to you if you just do a little bit of work. You
What
don't
the
need to grind
fuck?
all day to even go get a house in the future and stuff like that. Like all of that is gonna be
I'm
accessible
gonna
without
react
massive amounts of
question mark
grinding, and
as
that's
well.
by design. So if you then go into a system like that where you get decent amount of money without grinding, and then you spend all day grinding, and then even turn down offers to RP for grinding because you want more money, then you're just not the right fit for the server. There's servers
Oh.
out there that love that shit. Like they are very grindy, and they're designed like MMOs. I know our server looks like it's designed like an MMO, but most of the mechanics are really there to enhance roleplay.
A
Like even the skill tree,
bit.
that's not made to be or look like an MMO. That's made so you can't do everything at once. Like the whole reason for the skill tree is so you can't do everything at once, and you have to go to other people to get things done. So even if you like mechanics and you like to go through mechanics, you can't do them all,
If you can be
and you
banned for
have to get help
overgrinding
by other
mechanics, it should
people, and
probably be
that
better
encourages
for the
roleplay
mechanics to
instead of
limit
just doing it all
themselves.
yourself. That's the
Well, I
reason
think what
behind that
happened was
skill
a lot
tree.
of people grinded a bunch of
So
money, then bought
if you've
businesses,
mistaken
and
us
didn't
for
do
an
anything with it.
MMORPG, I apologize, but that's not what we are.
Question: what are your thoughts on shootings, bombings
All
at the
right, I think
hospital?
the 10
Not
minutes
that
are
I-
over. Thank you for your question. We can
All
move
right,
on to
good time to
questions
end
for the
them.
admin stuff now that we skipped earlier.
Not that I think EMS are exempt to
Let's make a
potentially
cutoff
being attacked
here.
or robbed, but do you guys consider that attack?
All right, feel free to send
I
some
have a
questions
grenade.
about the
Boom!
admin topic and how we handle tickets, etc.
That hospital bombing was awesome. Can I just say W admins? There we go. Fantastic. Good one, Penta. Yes. 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 Fantastic.
Looks like they don't have any questions.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
now the questions are coming. I guess they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
typing.
I said it now. Yeah, just to prove me wrong.
oh,
Yeah.
Good comment, Penta.
They were just waiting
One
for
free
that.
hospital. One
So
free
rude.
hospital bombing.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You carry on.
Okay, let's have a look. Where does the line for considerate crime RP stop? Is there a point where it should just be reported? I mean, I guess the rule I use for myself is, are you having fun or not? Yeah, and if you're not
Oh.
having fun, then feel free to hit report. Like I know we said there's a lot of tickets and that we're doing a lot with not many people. We would much rather you report than not.
Ooh.
Tell us about
It's
it so we can
over.
look.
Absolutely. Please report.
Oftentimes we can just say like, "Hey,
I'm
cool,
on the
no, this is
fucking
fine,"
phone!
or "No, this is definitely not fine," and we'll just take it on, and that's gonna be that.
And the slash report function, by the way, you guys don't need to type anything after that. It just
Yeah.
records in a radius around you information for us to use in the
Oh.
report, right? So if you wait too long and they go away from you, then it is harder for us to get that info, right? So just keep that in mind. Type report and then later make the ticket.
That's so
Bingo.
long.
Do warnings look really bad on your file? Absolutely. Permanent record. You can't get rid of them. It's a thing. In terms of bringing people on for the admin team, what we specifically looking for?
Sorry, Penta, you're out
Really
of
good
here.
question.
Someone didn't have fun.
I'm not sure what we're going to do for doing that. So I'll
Oh,
defer to
damn.
everyone else.
Yeah, we got a little admin tool, and the warnings are like bright red in the notes. So,
Oh, crap.
go
What if
ahead,
you are
carry
having
on.
fun when Pryor marks your cars for
so
any
then-
pounds?
Okay, I'm going to do this next one in the Gill voice because it's tripping out
Alright.
Bongo. So, Snow, you said towards the end of the ticket section, the permabounds are
Well,
usually reserved for people who disagree with the bound. Does
That's-
that mean if we disagree with why they're being pulled into a ticket, try to explain ourselves or have a conversation about our perspective, we can get permabound for that?
That's pretty good.
So the answer is
The answer is no on this. So keep
Yeah.
in mind that our lead developer is German, right? Primarily English, like German first, right? English second. So sometimes he may say things in certain ways that may come across a little differently than intended. But that's not necessarily the case. There are
I thought
situations
so.
where people are removed permanently because they don't agree.
I thought So has been doing a
with
good
the ban,
job.
essentially, they don't
I
understand
thought he's
it,
been doing a good job.
or they refuse to change the behavior. They don't want to. They think it was okay, right? RDM, things like this. We've had a couple of those situations. And ultimately, the whole goal of pulling them into the ticket is to hear them out, right? Number one, and to see if they can be if it can be explained to them, if they can be rationed with and reasoned with and spoke to, and they can speak back, right, about what's going on, so that we don't have this issue going forward. The entire issue or the entire point is to avoid having to pull them into another ticket or affect someone else's role play in the same negative way that they just did. And if they can't get on board with that, then yes, we do remove them. But
Yeah.
that's not something that happens on the frequent, and it's not what permanent bans are reserved for.
Yeah, I mean, what I was really trying to say is if you respectfully say, listen, guys, I don't agree with how you run this community, but I'm going to respect it going forward. I thought this was okay, and I thought it should be okay, but I still want to play here, and I respect this ruling. Then you're not going to get banned for that.
I
right?
think
And you can, argue and try to
hospital
get your
bombings
side
are
across
kinda
100%.
funny.
But when
LOL.
that sort of learning effect isn't there, or the sort of respect isn't there for the rules we put in place, even if you disagree with them, right?
That's
Then
so long.
then we just have to remove you because you would tell us, right? I don't agree with it, and I'm gonna break it again, right? If you say I don't agree with it, but I'm not gonna break it again, then that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can disagree, but yeah, it's when it comes to how we do certain things, like people just have to kind of get on board with that, right? We have rules for a reason. We want them to be followed.
With good reason.
But okay, where
Funny's
are we
the
at
reason.
here? Etrion, what's the next question?
Will the anonymous sample reports likely get their own channel? Yes, that's exactly how that's going to work. And then I think someone asked if you've got a character naming question to make sure it's not breaking the rules, then there's a ticket before you make the character. That's
Once in a
fine.
while,
you
not
can
all
make
time.
it. It's
4th of
fine. I mean, you
July,
can read
hospital was a
the
hot
name
spot.
extensions. I think it's quite clear, right? I think
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah, the guidance is
very
pretty
clear.
That
straightforward.
happens
But
in
if you
very
do struggle,
straightforward.
you
real
want
life too.
to check, we don't mind. That's a nice, easy ticket for us to answer.
What
It'll
the
take us 2
hell?
seconds.
What the hell is that?
Will the anonymous sample reports likely get their own
Ah!
Discord? I understand rough.
Yeah, we've done
sketch
that
what you're
one.
saying.
I'm
Sorry,
out of here.
Where are we at here?
Me when
We're
hospital
up to
bombs.
Benji asking, can you explain what exactly the report records? Basically records everyone who's in the area at the time and gives us a timestamp, and then we can look at the context of
What
that
the hell am
report,
I
so
looking
see
at?
everything that's happening in the logs around that place and time. It's just a really useful way for just narrowing
ER
down which bit of the
rooms
logs do we need to
are
look at.
packed
So yeah,
on the
but it's really useful
4th,
because it captures who's in
IRL.
the area around
LOL.
you. It gives us all of the IDs so we can grab them and have conversations. So the sooner you do it, the better.
It's true. It's true. I'm right.
And then I think
Sometimes you get
He's
busy
right.
and tickets
Yeah.
get closed before we see the outcome. And the ticket log fails because Discord. What's the proper way to ask about that? I remember I said something in Gen chats once, and Katie got it because she's awesome. But yeah,
yeah, you can hit
Hey,
us up with a
man.
fresh ticket. I explained there's 2
Cool
sort of ways that can happen.
off.
Beyond
You
just the ticket
don't
bot
want
sort of
to
sometimes being a bit
blow
temperamental.
up.
Just open a ticket.
we don't
and
do
say,
LOL.
hey,
logs anymore, though. I don't think
no,
we don't
yeah,
do that anymore.
yeah, just say, hey, I wasn't sure exactly what the outcome of this was. Can you just
Okay.
clarify? And then we'll just answer. It's fine. It's easy enough for us to find.
Nice.
So yeah, just do that.
Yeah. We used to have ticket logs, but we had to disable them because for some reason the ticket tool would send the whole log to everyone that was in a ticket at any point of time. So if we pulled someone else into the ticket and talked about it, or we as admins talked in there, they got
That's so
the whole log
long.
even after they left the ticket. So
All right, I can't say
that's
mad
why
at
we had to
Dracos.
remove that feature. Obviously, that's
Unfortunate.
problematic.
Uh-oh.
What are your thoughts on shooting films at hospital? I mean, we've added additional guards into the hospital to make that more of a
More
threat to
guns!
make that less likely to happen. Obviously, sometimes story will lead that way.
More guns,
If
brother!
you're not
There
sure
you
report it, we'll
go!
look at the specifics of that particular situation rather than a broad rule. It's a lot easier for us to say, okay, here's exactly what happened in this time. What's the decisions that we're making? What's the context that's led to it? So that we can coach people to making better choices in the future. And if there's people who are just doing it consistently over and over again for not much story effort, well, then we'll have a conversation with them.
Uh-oh. My
I
hospital
know
bombing
one situation
storyline.
that keeps getting mentioned by some people is the situation with the grenade blowing up in the ER. First of all, that grenade blowing up immediately was a mistake by them. They didn't mean to blow themselves up. They just didn't understand that when you hold right click, it pulls the pin. So they were cooking the grenade in their right hand and accidentally blew themselves up.
Why Chad exploded, right?
That shit was
Yeah,
awesome.
He didn't mean to blow
He didn't
himself up.
Need to explode. Yeah.
It was unintentional, and I know it sucks if you're like standing right next to that and you get suicide bombed, but just shrug it off. I mean, it's silly.
You just got to get
Just
over
say,
it.
you know,
Just shrug
you got
off the
a
hospital
light concussion.
suicide bombing.
That's what I meant earlier with you get the agency
Oh
to
God,
RP out your
German
injuries.
moment! This is what
Basically,
Katie was
just
talking
stand back
about.
up from it and say, "Oh, nothing happened to me. You know, I got a bit of a headache." You know, just shrug it off. I understand EMS on a melting pot server like ours can be very a lot of work sometimes because you have to deal with a lot of criminals that want to include you in their roleplay. But I say
Shrug
I
off
would say
suicide
just go
bombing.
with it, see where the flow goes, and try to have fun with it. And
Oh, that's so funny.
I think some of DMS have found other ways that want to do it more slow, to go to other parts of the hospital and then do a bit of slow RP there. We allow you to do that. But
EMS
yeah,
have been targeted.
we also understand there was
have
a
been
bit too
heavily
many
targeted
shootings in the
lately.
hospital during Prime. Like, it got a bit too crazy when it happened, like every hour. So that's why we added more
I
guards
don't
in
think
there just to
that's
deter
true.
it. So if somebody does that, they really, they bring in a team and they bring in a story with them.
How many likes did you blow up the tow truck
Otherwise,
gun?
it's not going to work out, right? Because I think there's valid reasons to go in a hospital and try to take someone out there, or do RP there with the MS. Like, there's 100% reasons, and I don't like the concept of green zones. I know even the biggest
Yes.
servers have done that. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, it just shuts
W
down any chance
Snow.
of RP there, of any conflict RP
Fuck
there.
a
So we
green
don't want that.
zone. Jordan Steele.
Oxburg asking about streams of viewers that reactions to content is normal, but toxic behavior in chats on constant negative behavior towards characters is unwelcome. People should communicate this. I don't stream, so I don't really have too much experience on this. I'll let one of the others handle that particular one.
EMS Bailey.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading something else. You, Karen. What was the question?
So the question is, how do we go about reminding streamers and viewers that reactions to content is normal, but the toxic behavior in chats / constant negative behavior towards characters is unwelcome? I understand streamers can and should police their own communities respectively, but at what point does it become an admin issue? Yeah, I don't stream, so I don't really have the context to answer that well.
Well, I think we can ask streamers. We have a few larger streamers on the server, just to tell them, negative hopping is not okay. I think it's pretty obvious. I think all of our streamers tell that to their community already. I can just reiterate it. Negative hopping is pretty fucking toxic. If you go over to another streamer and
Guys, don't do it.
talk bad to them, it
Guys,
just creates a
don't
pretty
hop.
bad experience for everyone.
Guys,
It's
don't do
unnecessary.
that.
A lot of
Don't
you have
do that,
experienced
dude.
that before, and I don't think it's super fun. I mean, some people take it in stride and are very entertained by it, but others will take it personal. So
Why is
yeah, just be
Walnut? One
mindful.
time I shot
If any
Penta in
viewers are
character and
watching,
he sent real life
there's still
hoppers
people
who now
behind the
live in my
computer.
home and there's nothing
Many
I
of the
can do
streamers are
about
playing
it.
characters, so
That's
if
not
you attack them
I don't do
personally
that.
because of
That's
their
not
character's position,
me.
you're kind of a
I don't do
loser
that shit.
because it's just role play.
I
They're
don't
just
do
telling a
that.
story,
That's
and it
not
would be pretty
me.
boring if there wasn't an antagonist to your
I can't
favorite
control
streamer.
that.
They would just be sitting
I
around
can't
in
control
Uwu
that
Cafe
shit.
and doing nothing all day or whatever. No flag against Uwu Cafe. There's great RP happening in Uwu Cafe, by the
Can't,
way.
man.
And that was just a random example.
No, I didn't
All
send
right.
them.
What was the next question, Sharon?
Um,
Where are we at?
Good question. There's a whole bunch of talking, so it's quite tricky to.
Woo
get it. I think
slander! Oh
CCTV
my
prop
God!
does it have to be recognised it's in use and recording. People should be leaving scenes regardless of whether there's a prop there or not. They should be leaving counterplays for if they're stealing stuff, regardless of whether you've set anything up or not. Obviously, if you have, then that's a lot cooler and a lot more immersive, but you don't have to. We would expect you to be leaving counterplay for any thefts that you're doing, and that's one of the things that we see a bunch is people aren't leaving those as they're doing robberies.
Yeah.
Leave some clues so people can come back and find you, and you can get cool roleplay out of it.
Yeah, counterplay, guys. Right. When it comes to stealing furniture and stuff, you really got to leave scenes and leave counterplay. That points back to you in some way or another. I just straight up put my name and just say I owe you. It's like a meme, but not
Mike
a meme.
Block
I don't
did
owe them.
this.
I'm not paying them back. But they can now come. They know who it is at the very least to come and roleplay. Later on, there may be other things to help
What kind of
with
sandwich?
parental health
Italian.
and such that we've talked about internally that nothing's been decided on. But for now, yeah, I mean, you need to be leaving scenes. If you feel like things are getting taken without role play and no one's role playing it out properly, then make a report and we can see whoever's taking things and where they're taking it, when they're taking it. Just make sure to include the time frame of which it would have been gone.
Huge
Hopefully
announcement,
Yeah.
Chappie.
That's the same to the question of when you do a slash report and
Yes.
create a ticket, do we have to grab any info from the server? Just give
Yes.
us the moment when it happened, and then obviously describe to us what happened, because just slash report doesn't give us any,
Yeah, I
context. We
mean,
need the
right.
context.
If someone's speeding away from you, you report them so we get their name and tag. But
Cool.
regarding that, okay, Snow, that's I think it's been 10 minutes. Do you want to talk about development now?
Yeah, let's talk about development.
Okay.
So,
I feel like this whole meeting has
um,
been, guys.
as you guys see,
Guys,
we
just
try to be
roleplay.
as transparent as possible about development. That's why we have the changelogs channel from the get-go. I even did a development stream. Ziggy did a development stream. Reed did like 3-4 development streams. We show what we're working on. If you watched my development stream, you also see the next feature that's coming real soon.
That is every meeting, yeah.
As for the team, we're slowly growing our team. Since launch, we had two new full stack developers join our team in regards to coding. And we are all working together to integrate them into our workflow and to make them and get as much content out of them for the server as possible. They are really great guys, so I enjoyed working with them so far, and they've already had a good positive impact on the server in terms of code. Right now,
W devs.
we are focused on
Like
major
if
updates.
you agree.
I'm working on housing, which is going to be delivered later this week. We'll be starting with a limited selection of available warehouses, small and large, as well as apartments and some houses. And we will be growing the list of houses and apartments in the future. There were a lot of concerns about, oh, I need to grind all day to get an apartment,
Doing numbers, dog.
etc.
Let's doing
We came up with a
dislike.
solution to rent out
Oh
a large
my
part of the
God.
apartments. You will
What?
go to the apartments and you'll be able to enter a raffle. And then if you win the raffle, you get to rent the apartment. And so you don't need to grind to buy it for 100K or however much that
I'm hitting
apartment is
that.
going to cost that you want to rent or to buy, sorry. You get a chance of just renting it even if you don't, have that much money.
If you're not a grinder, right? Like you're not grinding every single day, or you're not playing like as much as some other players, right? Even if we're not talking about grinders or whatnot, right?
Late stage
'Cause I
capitalism,
don't think you need to be
housing
a grinder to reach
raffles.
that amount if you've been playing since we've launched. But at the same
Yeah,
time, not everyone can play every single day, right? So
exactly. And we will try to add more and more housing. So I think in the beginning, all the houses will be and apartments and warehouses will be gobbled up pretty quickly, and we will just try to keep bringing in the demand. We're setting up tools for the rest of the developers to be able to add these in relatively quickly. Yeah, we don't have a huge 3D team, so for most of the apartments, we do rely on third-party resources, but for example, for the Tinsel apartments, we were able to get into a cooperation with the developer Kia. Our free developer is working together with him to improve the audio occlusion of the interiors. For example, those apartments, some of you noticed they didn't have audio occlusion, and we get access to the files to fix it for him. It's a win-win situation. His interiors have fantastic lighting, like fantastic modeling. Everything is very good. Just the audio occlusion was problematic, and we know how to fix it, and we did. So he now has one of the best interiors, plus the audio occlusion including. So yeah, we're
Huge.
very happy that's working out, and we're looking for other third-party developers to cooperate with them in the same way. Maybe even someone is listening here, you can reach out to us if you make really nice interiors.
Maybe
We're
someone.
happy to even help you fix audio occlusion or some other minor issues you haven't been able to if everything else is working very well. So that's how we try to make up for not having a huge team. I think that's fair.
Who knows?
If you've been looking in the changelogs, we've always we always try to constantly still provide small updates here and there. Recent things that come to mind is the cinematic camera. If you haven't read about that, you can press N, fly around, all sorts of stuff. Reed always pushes new vehicle models. I mean, I'm reminded of the first patch he did where he just pushed in 120 vehicles casually, and all of them optimized and like touched up by him and fixed up fully. You know, he puts in the work, and it's a massive amount of work. I think 4 days ago he pushed like 50 new vehicles from all the latest DLCs, and then a bunch more add-on vehicles that were all optimized. So on that front, we always get new features as well. You can scour through the changelog every day, and there'll be bug fixes in there. I know one big topic with development right now is mechanic shop related bugs. I've been looking at it a lot. I've been trying to fix them here and there. Some of the issues are very complicated because they also are tied into server spawned vehicles that do have some issues with some of the things, like extras, for example. You guys noticing, oh, sometimes this
That's
extra
so long.
is here and then it isn't. That's why I added the whole bit of the code where if you enter the vehicle, it gets reset and like adds the extras.
You should ask for a fat
If you enter
Latina
it for the
peds.
first time, right, it reapplies all the
More
customization.
bangable peds?
And that's because with the server spawned vehicles, the extras you can't reliably apply them. So it's just a technical thing. I've also started, I know this is a big point, on integrating extras into the F9 menu. From a technical point of view, that menu doesn't really support multi-select, so I had to add a bunch of extra code for it. And I'm
tired.
trying to manage my time, so I only give myself like half an hour every day to work on it, maybe an hour sometimes. And so it's just taking its time. But I already have like the
That's so
Lua backend side of it coded for the extras. I just need to get the UI part finished.
What does he mean extras? Like the
And when
Ricky,
that's done, we will
Ricky
have
Gervais
extras
show.
in the F9 menu. And I am brainstorming solutions for the driving out of the mech shop and things falling off. So I'm listening. I know there was a nice thread made in there where all the issues are collected, and I'm
I
very
know,
much
Peruse, it's fucked up,
looking at
huh?
it, and we're very much working on it, not ignoring it. But I'm also juggling my time between that and like the major housing update and like constant bug fixes.
Huge major.
Some of them are extremely urgent. So yeah, that's how that works, and that's how development works. If you are a developer and you're part of the community or not, and you're interested in working on this project, we do have dev apps open at any time. We're looking for interior devs. We're looking
That could be
for
you.
front end devs. We're looking for full stack devs. Full stack, you can help us a lot. As an interior developer, you can help us a lot. As a clothing developer, you can help us a lot.
Yes, you.
But make sure if you apply, you have experience and you know what you're
never
doing.
mind. That can't be you.
If you're just able to 3D model, that's not enough because we don't have the capacity to show you the entire pipeline. It's a very long process to learn from A to Z.
I'll show the devs my entire pipe if they want.
Our developers are busy and overworked already with the workload they have on getting current updates out. So
oh right, I'm
if
stupid.
you think you can help us,
oh wait,
please
I'm a
apply,
dummy.
and I'll talk to you in the application. All right, we'll have 10 minutes of questions about development.
Can we get trailers to? Oh God, can you make this mechanic that I want?
Okay, go ahead. If you no more, hold on the typing, please. hold on the typing.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
post questions. Just post questions. Very excited. I understand. Right below Selvig, please. I'm only gonna read below Selvig. I'm not. If you need to repost, go ahead and repost. But make sure it's
Okay.
related to development. not other
Prison.
work.
Prison.
Okay, for development, any updates on the crime tree and the racing in the F3 menu?
So racing is actively being worked on. The crime tree we have, we are discussing it right now. I'm tending. We have 1.5 crime professions ready.
Question.
We are
Car
tending
boosting.
towards making it 1 profession tree instead of 2. Just so to emphasize further on the point that I made earlier, where we really want to have characters that
shit.
don't do too many things at the same time, you know, that specialize into like three of, depending on which professions you pick, 4 things. I think that's more than enough to do, and that leaves room to RP with others and having to, you know, consult with others. So
Stupid,
we
where the
are
fuck has John
right
brought?
now. I'm
Do
standing
you know how much
where I
goddamn
think
trouble I've
we want
gotten
it to be
in?
1 tree and not 2, and then the crime professions go into the same tree as the normal professions.
Okay.
Um,
Next
yeah, we're
question.
still, yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You have one then?
yeah. I read out. When can we expect for the development of businesses like restaurants, clubs, 24/7s to be completed? Systems like tills for restaurant, etc. I can't give you a timeline on that. It's too difficult to say that right now. I have a plan for restaurants and
At least he's honest.
24/7s. I have a plan for it. I wrote it out in the announcement a while
I
ago.
got a plan, officer.
I think only one group bought a 24/7 before that announcement came out, and I offered them a refund. So anyone that bought it since should be aware of the limitations. But yeah, there's plans to work on it. We just have to work in order of importance. And right now, you can still do restaurant RP without the till working. But yeah, I got a plan for it,
He
and I
has a
think it's
plan.
gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, we will work on it
Penta
eventually.
have a permagun. Perma bullets. Let's go.
Can a roadmap be made for future updates? Um, Maybe. I would have to think about that. Roadmaps are difficult things to develop on an RP server. Sometimes other features are more pressing, and then it will change, and we would have to update the roadmap. And yeah, I think, or well, I hope at least you guys have faith in us that we will deliver updates because we have been showing that we work on the server daily with the change logs. Question: will Reed be updating the motorcycles to be less paper mache?
What?
That the
I
police
think
have
they're
counters to
fine.
motorcycles, i.e., several motorcycle cops. Um, we already have been buffing motorcycles. There's some standout motorcycles that need to be less paper mache like, but I don't think that as a general statement is still true. There's bug report threads for bikes that are too explodey.
Full
You can put
circles are
your
fine.
opinion
LOL.
in there, and Reed generally reads them and replies to them. And Reed has been working on balancing all that. Questions: what do the
Boo!
MCs have to do and build up to get their cuts and also clubhouses put in? So for the cuts, we have a system we've been working on where they will be items. Basically,
Don't drive
you will get a
a
custom crafting table where you can
motorcycle
craft
if you
your
don't want
clubhouse's clothing,
to die.
and then you
Easy.
can hand them that right with our inventory system, like the police uniforms. That way, those are RP items that can be stolen off you,
That's
and
so
Just
long.
like real
that can
life,
create a lot
yeah.
of roleplay.
I typed is.
Question: so with the anti-grinding stuff and a lot of people losing assets they get from grinding, will we see a reduction in the current cost for things, a rollback of the economy? Because right
Trouble.
now inflation seems to be wild. Well,
Fucking minor
inflation
spelling
also increases
errors.
how much money you make from any system in the server, right? The only sort of rollback I could see is reducing the prices of certain businesses to make them more attainable because they are more affected by the inflation. Otherwise, yeah, I don't
Hey, it's
like the
Mark.
way inflation is set up right now. Is it takes a long time for prices to even double,
Oh, hi,
and
Mark.
I've seen servers just, you know, after a few months just 10x prices, etc. So I feel like our system is way more gradual
I did
and
not.
actually better for you because in the short term you will always out earn the inflation, except for large businesses because they have such high prices that the 1% increase
That's so
will
long.
You're my
immediately be
favorite
visible,
customer.
right? The other, obviously, when we had a big inflation talk, the other misconception back then was when they jumped by like 10% because they upped the vehicle sales tax. Um, and
I got told to shut
the
up by
counter to
Selvig.
that was
That's so
I think the vehicle prices
long.
were already pretty low, and that was the one point where we could get some more money out of the economy for the police institutions, because we do have circular budgets,
That's
and we
so
like that sort of budget
long.
RP for our institutions. It all comes out of the tax. It is all something also that the governor will have a role in, as a little tease for things that we do have planned,
Little
including your
tease.
suggestions. So yeah. The only thing I could see is reducing the price of certain businesses. But to be honest, I don't think the things we wiped will have widely affected everyone as much. And they have affected certain groups, but not nearly the whole server.
Remove the barcade.
For the raffle
People
system,
only
is it
use it to
automated
illegally
via
park.
code or drawn by it's automated? Question: new people wanting to dev, can we direct them to the dev app, or do they need to be whitelisted first? The dev app can be filled out without being whitelisted. Is there a development
That's so
roadmap that the community
long.
can get an insight of what's coming, what's to come weeks, months ahead? Answered that question earlier. We tease at things here and there that will help, and the only other roadmap we have is obviously the things that we show and tease at in game already, with racing, criminal professions, and how stores and
Make the only
all those
out of the server illegal parking.
purchasable
All right.
businesses are going to work. English is difficult.
Do you get a full stream today? All right, I'm leaving.
So
No,
when will we hear about the crime expression stuff? Already touched upon that. It's in the works.
I was gonna do it. Now I'm not.
Any plans for more crimes responsibilities for the park rangers? I can talk to Nicotina about that if she has some ideas. We always want to expand the
Penta?
on features.
I don't like
think
this
park
guy.
ranger roleplay
Straight
has
up.
been pretty cool recently.
GJ Manga.
Car
GJ
boosting.
Manga.
Yes.
Thank you for the
I know you're all
gifted.
busy, but what's the ETA on the updates to other owned businesses? Already talked
Thank
about
you
that.
so much. GP.
Are there plans for
5
additional
gifted
drugs?
earlier, thank
Yes. Will there be any additional
That's
civilian
so
professions?
long.
Yes.
Huge.
Any work being done for more nautical vehicles like dredge boats, towboats, or dragnet fishing boats? No plans for that right now. No.
Huge.
It sounds awesome though.
No.
Curious
That's
to know
so
if when any okay, I already answered that. Will there be a property app on the phone so we can see what is available? It probably won't be on the phone, but you will see what's available. With illegal furniture now, can we expect the byproducts of those move from decoration to consumables? Those will stay decorations forever, but there will be real equivalents. Maybe we'll even take out the only decoration ones in the future, and replace them with only working ones. But right now, they're just there to enhance your roleplay.
Huge.
More civ jobs, yes. Is there more crim activities? Yeah. I think we're repeating each other.
That's so
We're repeating
long.
questions now. I'm gonna look if there's any new questions.
Can we get a shredder prop or something to destroy any paper items? Just throw them in the ocean.
When it comes to mechanic shop issues, can we remove the issue when you're in F9 and it puts you in a
Enron
crash
RP.
loop?
Fucking Watergate
I'm aware of that
RP.
issue. I got it written down. I'm not sure if you were the person that suggested the fix with the wide rim tires, but we have to look at it closer.
Pollution RP.
I haven't been able to reproduce it on my server yet, which
That's
is really
so
annoying.
long.
So I just gotta try harder.
Try hard.
Is there a plan to have an interior added for large bean machine in Eclipse? Okay, that shouldn't have been for sale. We removed it, and we will refund you. That's not gonna be back added in because that interior is not well made. So sorry you bought that. That was an oversight by us. You bought an interior that doesn't exist. I mean, I feel like that's all the other interiors you can walk into that you can buy, and you buy.
Sorry you did that.
Doesn't actually exist. So, yeah. But we will refund you. Make a ticket, please. We'll refund you. And we'll remove the thing from the code base.
Sorry you did that.
Yes. Drugs in prison. Drugs, yes. I've recently noticed my UI
That's
being
so
laggy
funny.
and heard others having the same issue. Is this a known issue?
Holy
No.
shit.
If you could,
Huge help for that guy.
if you could post repros in a bug report, that would be sweet. Or you could also try disable newly lag
UI
at high
bad,
GPU
no.
usage at in your 5M launcher settings. Or you can try changing the 5M build, right, from latest to stable, etc. And then if that fixes it, let me know so I can find out what's happening on latest and what I need to change. Stuff like that. Yeah. Whitelisting jobs. Are there more plans for whitelisting jobs or businesses? No, we don't have any plans for any more whitelisted jobs. The institutions we have right now, police, EMS, and rangers, will stay the scope for a little bit. Like police in general. Can we add an accessibility option to toggle off scrolling on the loading screen? It lags my GPU pretty bad. Interesting. I think about a solution maybe. Any updates on the Yellow Pages app?
There
A
you go.
dev started working on it, but they got busy with life. I'll try to speak to them again. Right now, I'd say just use Life Invader. I understand Life Invader has some issues too. I think it works relatively well. I'm working on a patch for Life Invader so you can scroll down further, not just like the last 30 posts or whatever. And since you logged in, obviously you can get up to hundreds, right? But
just fucking get a new one.
I try to improve that. Hopefully we'll get that app soon, but I can't make any promises.
Just get a new one.
Can I get a Tinder app, please, on the phone? I really need friend.
Don't read that. Why is he reading that one?
Does the dev team have interest in taking a product manager to help with organization, documentation, priorities? No, we're really just looking for developers. We have plenty of work. We don't, and we know the priority. So we really just need more coders or free developers, etc. Can we get an update on the pharmacy? Blah, blah, blah.
This guy, Snow needs a
It's
vacation,
the same story
dog.
as
What
with
the
the other
fuck?
ones. You guys bought this after I made the announcement.
Poor guy. Blah, blah, blah.
How do we fix our Life Invader? You can make a new account. The issue arises when you follow too many accounts. The global feed
Dude,
has an
Germans
issue.
might be the funniest people.
So make a new account, maybe just a burner so you can see the global feed.
Blah, blah.
Or start unfollowing people. That will fix it too. We will fix that bug though. I've been diving into it already.
Oh,
It's on my
shit.
list. Q, will there be payment cards, bank cards? I don't have a plan for that now. I don't see how it adds anything to roleplay.
So there's a lot of questions now that are just around like some basic things, which I can probably answer really quickly. Yes, there's going to be a little more clothes coming. They're coming in as quickly as people can work on them, and they get loaded in there. So that's just going to continue to happen. Same thing comes with hair, clothing, any of that sort of stuff. Custom clothing, as it comes with things like cuts and t-shirts and all that sort of stuff, is in the pipeline. It'll be around sooner or later. We've got some other things that obviously no one's take focus
That guy
on
did
first,
get smoked.
and do some more core mechanics so that we can do more things. But yes, they're going to be in the pipeline. I can kind of see that one.
Rudzwell's is like,
stuff going on with the phone. I think there's a bunch of questions on that one, so I think those have already been covered.
Blah blah blah.
I say in the works because
I don't see how that
we
adds to
already have,
roleplay.
like the thought process on a bunch of different things.
That's so
yes,
funny.
you can
dog.
also like suggest emotes as well. Make a thread or make a suggestion with inside the suggestions for emotes and start it there. Provide links to the things that you all would kind of like, just like we're doing with clothing and hair options. It's easier to kind of put it there. Make sure you provide links, and it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of go through that whole entire thing.
Lean 41.
Yes, there's more
Let's
updates
go.
for cooking coming. The team had a whole lot of things that were going through that. So there's more things that they can possibly do that you can well imagine with our crafting system. It's huge and it's ever expansive. So there's that one.
That's so long.
There's lots of different reasons. I see a lot
Yo,
of questions
let's
about
not read
MLOs.
questions
We're
again.
not really going to add a whole lot of MLOs right now. We're looking to see what the roleplay does, and we can see what happens with that one. Roleplay it out first, and then we'll go from there. We like to reward the roleplay, so doesn't matter if you buy it or not. It's not going to make a difference. It's the roleplay behind it that actually drives things.
Huge.
But I think so. You've gone like way over your 10 minutes, and I don't want you to keep having to scroll through everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we are past the 10 minutes. I see a lot of repeating questions.
Yep.
Snow sounds so tired.
I'm
I think
curious
this is
though
like
how really important
probably got to
the
be
issue
later.
is
It's
of
probably a weird time
24/7s
later.
and stores not working, because I see that question a lot. So I'm gonna think about that. Maybe I'll move that up in priority to get those up sooner. But I think everyone understands that things like housing and drugs take priority over it.
The
But
fuck was
also,
what is that
we have
shit?
2 new developers. Hopefully, we can get more things done at the same time. Okay, and then magnet fishing fix soon. I have a fix on my server. I need to do a balance test first, though. I'm a little bit
What's a
worried that
super
it's
reaction?
gonna mess up everyone doing like a, dumpster diver RP type. Because
Paid
then you're just gonna
emotes?
have fishers doing that, standing in one spot. So I gotta be careful with the magnet hook.
It's a forward.
So that's the reason I'm holding back. So yeah, I could have just disabled that fair, but we will push it soon. Someone that isn't broken but
Oh, they're
still
free.
usable. Okay. I think that's okay. I'll answer one more question because it's completely
Oh, never
different.
mind.
Is there a rough ETA ballpark on MDT QL changes? There are a number of pressing issues that are significantly impacting follow-up
Pulling
LAORP,
some random
stuff
dude?
like
That's
finding old
Oxburg.
investigation files, etc.
I have a list for Snow.
Yeah.
I just have to get with Snow on it, but I have a list and it's growing. So, and it also pertains to, so it's not just a PDMDT thing, it's also EMS as well. So it impacts all of the
Oh
different
my God.
institutions. So I'm gaining a list of everybody kind of thing of what we need to do from an MDT perspective because it'll impact all of them and not just PD.
Okay, so that's that for dev questions. But if you have more dev
The
questions,
goon.
occasionally I do stream. You can come in my stream chat and ask me directly. But if we keep going here, it would blow up the
Fall
scope.
snow.
So just catch me when I'm streaming and ask me then, and I'm gonna answer your question.
Yo, this motherfucker said, "Catch me when I'm live." How about that?
Let's move on to our last topic. A little bit of a surprise. People have been looking forward to it. You carry on, if you may reveal the surprise.
Yes.
Penta
okay.
band.
Penta is banned.
Shut up.
Okay.
Fucking idiot.
Everyone
Sorry.
loves a
Sorry, bad
good
joke.
No!
old fashioned.
Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
No!
Jesus Christ.
No!
Everybody, and I mean everybody, loves nothing more than a good old fashioned political race. And some of you have been doing campaigns since the first day of the server. In fact, day one, I met a couple of you. Shade, I'm looking at you. Joe Sakamoto, I'm looking at you too. You've been doing the RP for a long time. So it is time. In 4 weeks' time, the first elections will be held in Los Santos for governor.
Woo!
We're going to open up a suggestions thread. I just opened it. In fact, you can look for it. It's "The Governor is Dead. Long live the Governor."
Woo!
We want you to express your opinions on how you think the governor role should work. And we're open to giving you plenty of freedom and power there. So let those creative ideas flow. We're going to pick the bones of what you post in there and use it to make something fun and interesting for this first role. So head in there, start putting your ideas in. I'm going to be camping out in there over the coming weeks as we prepare for the election. And yeah, just get that role play going, get your campaigns going, and we will start to do all of that stuff. Off you go. We will also arrange and sort of help support people who want to do things like debates, things like that, all of the usual paraphernalia of elections.
I'm gonna make
Just let
Joe
us know and we
Biden.
can help support that.
Yeah. Thank you, carry on. I hope everyone's excited. 4 weeks, you can get your campaigns going. The DOJ will also make some in-game, in-character announcement, probably on Life Invader, just so you have the in-character reasoning
It's
to
against the
go.
rules.
And
Bo Jiden.
yeah,
Yep.
with your suggestions, you can go ham wild. We are leaning into the more powerful side for the governor. He's not just gonna be, you know, like a AP goon or
They
whatever.
deleted
Like
Trump.
he will have very strong tools available to impact the server and the roleplay on it. That's all I'm gonna say because we want to hear your opinions too, and we just want to enable you to make
That's
those
so
suggestions.
long.
All right.
Okay, we'll do a couple of minutes of questions about the elections. Selvik, make the line.
You fuck with Trump, you fuck with me.
Oh God, Kid Rock, please. I'm sorry, man. Kid Rock, fuck, I'm sorry, man. Shit, dude.
Thank you, Selvik. Let's go.
Can anyone run even crims? Yeah. No.
How
Well, they can
how
in real
often will the
life. Why the
term be?
fuck
I mean,
not?
you probably mean how long? 2 to 3 months is what we are aiming at right now. I think that should be enough time to get your
I
arc
think Felon should be able
as
to
a governor
run.
done.
Fuck it.
Obviously, if you do crazy shit, yeah, you might.
It could be shorter.
It could be a lot shorter.
It could be
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah, I mean that depends on your roleplay.
How much per hour?
With the elections coming up, will this dovetail nicely with the whole FIB-IA stuff going on? I'm very lost on the therapy and how it impacts San Andreas politics. It's not
We
really
don't
supposed
look
to
into
impact
it,
it.
Hawksburg. We don't look into it.
Yeah, just look, the IAA is the
Uh-oh.
CIA, all right? You don't want anything to do with the CIA. When the CIA rocks up, you give them anything they want, and then you're quiet about anything that happened. That's the CIA, all right? And that's that role play. Any requirements for governor, i.e., not a violent felon? Put that in the suggestions channel if you want the ability for violent felons to be a governor.
I say yes.
I'm gonna quit.
Could we get big IC announcement
Let's
pasted up
do
on
it.
the advertising board as well as on Life Invader? We will put definitely something on Life Invader, maybe something on a board. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Life Invader 100%, so you have an IC reason. I know you have briefly touched on it, but what sort of mechanics is the governor looking to have?
Don't tell
That's
him.
for that's for
Don't
the
tell.
suggestions. Yeah, I want that's for the suggestions, Fred. If you want any, or if you want to see any mechanics, put them in there. Like I said, we lean into the powerful side of things. What kind of power? Again, suggestions, Fred. Will there be just a governor, or will there be state reps as well as a cabinet? If you have any ideas for that, you can put it in the suggestions thread. We are open to doing more elections like that in the future. The main election is about the governor right now. Will the governor role have other departmental checks and balances? Put in the suggestion thread.
Is housing a
We
possibility?
don't really want to tell you right now how the governor is going to work because we want your opinions on how it should work. We have ideas and but on this one, this is such a community affecting feature that we're really curious on what you think. All right. So if I just tell you like what I think right now, that's great, but it might affect what you think. So I want to hear you first. Okay, this is all. Will the governor be those questions I
There you
can't
go.
answer?
Will the governor have nukes? No.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah, unless he acquires them through roleplay somehow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can a governor rerun after serving? Put that in suggestions. That's a good one. Will a constitution be created with this one? We're kind of going off of a constitution already. We're doing addendums. by court and case laws and that sort of stuff and precedent. That's how we're affecting the stuff. But we already have like we're already kind of going off of the American Constitution. It makes it easier.
Will the voting be IC? Now that's a good question. Yes. There will be polling stations. They'll be open over several
Polling
days.
stations.
And at the end, we will release the results via the DOJ.
Nathan, the community's building it.
How will voting work?
That way, then if people don't like it, then they
The
can just
voting
blame
will work in
themselves.
character with polling stations.
It's
like I just
genius,
said.
really, if you think about it.
Okay, the rest is
They're
just
operating on a different
questions of
level
how
here.
The governor is gonna work
On
which,
purple.
If you have ideas,
All right,
these
you
are-
guys
lots of
fucking
these
build
are
it. Oh, you didn't
questions
like it?
disguised
Too
as
bad. This is your
suggestions.
ideas.
If you have suggestions, we created the thread. You can just put your suggestion in there because there's a lot of good suggestions here.
That's so long.
Smart.
Thoughts on Toya
Yeah,
taking
you did it.
businesses?
We didn't do
This is
shit.
An unrelated question.
I didn't do
but
anything.
I'll
You
answer it.
fucking
I think
did
it's
it.
a good idea.
Yeah, you fucked it up. That was an awful idea. Why'd you guys want this?
Will it only be one vote per player or one vote per character? Probably per player, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go, chat.
Martial law and who is Halakayo Perico.
If you make a
That's probably
art
the
for
biggest
campaign
announcement out of this whole
posters,
meeting. Nathan
we
on
can put
purple.
props in for you, and I'd say that right now from Dev Team we will support that. So if you make us art for posters, we'll put them in so you can
That's a pretty big announcement.
you can put them around. I will put in the extra time to get that working because I think that's amazing.
Real?
But they will use the decoration system so your political
Confirmed in my
enemies can
chat.
take them down, or they can put scenes on them and stuff. So your
Just here to
face
help
gonna be
Spud
smeared
achieve his
on.
dream of being CG. It won't be
There was
hard
a
on
question
purple.
about like corruption, like
There's
how that would
already
work,
stuff in where you
with the
can build
institutions and stuff
compounds.
Like that. The institutions are going to stay how they are currently until we're satisfied. We're kind of where they're at, and then we'll.
And
we'll
it's
let
in
things
law
go.
that if someone requests a superior, then
Yes, the election is
prior
in
has to
4
give it to
weeks,
them.
and then when the government
So honestly, really,
goes into power, will be a little bit later.
legally they have to
And
get a
then that
superior.
sort of aligns with our timeline there. What Ron just mentioned.
Everything really is fucking primed for Sput's CG.
Okay. Yeah, as Hava just said, we're happy to make props for your campaign.
Yeah, it's great.
Just make a ticket. You're gonna have to put in the. You're gonna have to give us the art, though, etc. Like we won't be making that for you.
Cam Potter's the Beaver run for governor. I'll leave that to Brisket.
So,
Sorry.
sorry, where are we at here?
I think we all the questions are answered. Most of them are.
So
are
someone is
no
asking if it
suggestions.
could possibly
Okay.
expand between like governor. Does this mean that we would also do possible future elections like mayor, sheriff elections and that sort of stuff? I would say there's nothing kind of out of reach, right? It's role play, and we wanted to see how the
I'm
community
gonna
would
vote
do this,
for
and
Mike
we can always
Block,
expand to different things.
guys.
There's nothing saying that we can't.
Who's with
This is
me?
kind of our world, you guys. We can work together and create something and do something that's different. So, yeah, we certainly can. We could elect a goldfish if you want to elect a goldfish, but you know, that's
Whoa,
just the start of
whoa, whoa.
something.
You know, the Rangers do have a fursuit for beavers, so if that guy wins, that would be pretty funny. Or yeah, that person. I don't know actually.
Mike
Where
Block
is it?
will build the wall
Okay.
around China.
There's one more question
Yeah.
about the election. How long would the voting period for the elections run for? A full week? Yes. Like probably half a week or a full week, something like that. 3 to 7 days, something in that ballpark, just so we get as many votes as possible.
We'll make sure it goes over a weekend because we know there's a lot of people that have jobs as well. we can't do anything until the weekend. So we'll have a couple days over the weekday, a couple days over the weekend.
Okay, that's it for this community meeting.
All right.
Thank you for coming and attending so plentiful.
That's
We'll
so
have another community
long.
meeting in the future. And
W
yeah,
meeting.
that's that. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was a pretty good one. Like every single community meeting I've ever been to, the main message was just roleplay. Yeah, I liked when Snow said blah blah blah. That was probably a big highlight. Nathan announced in the chat that he's in on purple. That was a big announcement. Just roleplay, have fun, and fuck Penta. Yep. I'm glad that they clarified the if you don't like role-playing with someone, you have to get out of the situation first. That's pretty cool. You have to role-play the situation out. I also liked when they talked about bombing at the hospital. Snow
That's
said,
so long.
we added more guns. we added more guns to the hospital, so it'll be all right. Like that. Good one. Good meeting, I think. What about when someone calls you Penta in court of prior and UFA quit? My game crashed. Fuck green zones. Yep. I also liked the fuck green zone message. That was nice too. Good meeting. It was a good meeting. They did a good job. Sounds like there's some cool stuff coming. Blah, blah, blah. Agree, I don't like green zones, but if someone walks in with a gun in a building with 15 ARs, what's the point? You can shoot them. You can shoot the guards. You could shoot them. You like the admins here? Yeah, they did a good job. I don't think anything they said was... it was all good. Alright. I could give someone a cheeky little host. Did they address not wanting to roleplay with Penta? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they kind of did. They were like, you have to RP with Penta. They were like, you have to RP with Penta, is pretty much what they said, or else. Yep. Soups? You know what? Soups rides a lot, and I feel like it doesn't get to pay off. Throw it over to Soups, man. Because he does ride a lot. Nicotine is streaming. But the server? Yeah, but Soups, Soups deserves a bit of pay. I guess he does ride a lot, man. There's not a lot of good payoff. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm tired and hungover, so I'm going to go back to bed. I'm going to go to my couch.